friends, welcome to another super simple Wednesday. We're going to make another super simple project today, just a quick and easy project. A little different twist on some of your usual supplies, just to have some fun in the middle of the week. So I have this big roll of dressmaker tracing paper, and I've had this for a while, but you can still buy this quite inexpensively. It's made for tracing patterns, clothing patterns, and then cutting them out. So usually you can get quite a bit for, just a few dollars at a fabric store or probably online as well. So I just cut off a length of that. I put it on my mat, which was already a little bit kind of grungy, so it's picked up a little bit of grunge already, which is fine with me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to coffee dye this. So I have just some really strong coffee here. I have about 1.5 teaspoons of coffee to about 3/4 of a cup of coffee of hot water. The stronger you make it, the darker it is, and the quicker it'll stain your paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, like I'm finger painting or something, just going to slosh this coffee all around here, and then gonna let it dry, and then we're gonna make some little things out of it. Envelopes, pouches, little bags, and they're gonna have that really fantastic crinkle factor and look just like some authentic vintage of ephemera, I think. So just going to get that everywhere. This is just such an economical way to do this sort of thing. This is probably a strange confession, but maybe someone can relate. I like to do this sort of thing, and then obviously I can't work on my table while it's drying here. So I usually do it at night, just before I go to bed. And then in the morning, I feel like I can hardly wait to get up here and just see what it looked like after it's dry. So if anyone else does that, let me know so I don't feel like I'm so strange. So I'm just going to give a little bit extra splatters here just to give it a little bit more color. And because I have a glass mat under here, it's not going to stick too bad. It will stick maybe a tiny bit. Sometimes if it sticks just a tiny bit, I'll take my Cricut spatula or something just thin like that, a thin scraper, and just, it's usually, 1 or 2 tiny little spots that it might stick. But other than that, that's the first step. I'm just going to let that dry, and I'll show you what it looks like tomorrow morning, but it'll just be a second for you. So my first piece of tracing paper is nice and dry and crisp. So I'm going to make some really neat stuff out of that in a minute. But first I decided that I'm going to do another piece. So I'm going to coffee dye this one as well. Now for this one, I decided I'm going to play around with a little bit of distress stain and see what that looks like on top of my coffee dyed here. So this is peeled paint, distress oxide. So I'm just gonna spray it a little bit here and there. And then this one is Mowed Lawn, another green. And this is a blue. This is Mermaid Lagoon. So just going to give it a little bit of a shot of water just to kind of mix the colors a bit. This one's going to take a while to dry. It's super wet, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that to dry, and then we'll see what that looks like in a couple minutes. Okay, so here's my colored piece of tracing paper. I probably put too much water on it, so it bled together more than I wanted it to, but that's okay. I'm quite happy with the various colors on here. And I'm going to cut this up and make different little pouches and envelopes and pockets and different things, and I think that'll be a great little accent to a journal or any kind of project. I love the crinkle factor of this, so I'm just going to kind of fold this one up and put it away in my stash like that for now. And the other one that I made that was just coffee dyed, I just cut and just did various little type of pouches and different things. And I didn't really have a plan in mind. I just, whatever the shape of the piece that I cut off or tear off, I made different things. So I just made this into a little kind of a coin envelope, different shape of a coin envelope. So that one, this one I just did a little tab so I could glue that onto a page, and then it just pulls out like that. So just use that for a little bit of journaling interest or something like that. Here's one that looks like a little short paper bag, and that one can be a pocket or a pocket behind, whatever. This one I just folded up a couple of times and made two. Let me just grab something I can stick in here. So this one can be a pocket there and a pocket there, and if you want you could even glue that on for a pocket there. Of course I'll put on, you know, little decorations, collages, labels, butterflies, whatever, but I think I'm going to leave them blank until I have a project in mind, and then I'll just put them in there. So I'll just put them in my stash this way. It'll be a big head start to decorating the journal, and then I can just put on my decorations at that point. This one I just put on to the back of a coffee filter. This is the coffee filter, this is the tracing paper. I sewed around all of the edges, and a lot of these I sewed. I don't know if I mentioned that. I don't think I mentioned that. So this one, then I just folded up. Actually, I folded the two edges in. You can fold it different ways. Like this, I'm going to sew around here again as well. And then it'll be a pocket here, and you could even have a little tuck spot there as well. So that would be kind of cute. This one is another just kind of a stepped pocket, a pocket here, and then depending on how you glue this in your journal, there will be a pocket there as well. This is a bigger pouch, so just a pouch like that. This one I just made into a pocket, so I'll just sew that onto a page, and that'll just be glue it on, probably glue it onto a page on those three sides, and it'll be a pocket. A little pouch. Again, all of these are sewed around. This one I just have a little pouch there, and this is sort of a flap, but it's not a meeting flap, like it doesn't come over top. So just something a little bit different. Here's another little pouch. Actually, this one's kind of a pocket. I didn't fold over the top. And here's one I just had a piece left, and I put it in as kind of a bit of a signature inside a tiny little booklet, and I'll use that in a journal at some point, in a belly band or something like that. So lots and lots of really different projects that you can make with this. Once you have the raw material, you can just cut and fold and sew and do all kinds of fancy little things. So give it a go and enjoy the process, and I'll see you in the next Super Simple. Thanks, friends.